Hello, my name's Tommy Eldridge, and this is my wife, Denise.
Hello.
In just over a month, we will be celebrating our 18th wedding anniversary. And as God is my witness, I can honestly say that I look at my wife each and every day as though it was the very first time that I had ever seen her. But it hasn't always been that way. As for me, everything we did consisted of pleasure of the moment. It was what was good for me right now. There always had to be something new and exciting. The look at me kind of attitude. I wanted things for Denise, but only if they benefited me as well. I was living a very self-centered life. Denise tried to tell me what was lacking, but it just never sank in.
My life as well was all about me before the separation. What I wanted, what I needed, and what I was feeling. And the key problem with that was it was full of me. Me. I satisfied my inner needs with drinking, and this went on for years, slowly destroying my life and my husband's life and our daughter's life. I was heading in the wrong direction, and it eventually led to the separation because I hated my life and I thought there was no hope for me or for us. And when we separated, Tommy turned his life around and I got worse. I was still living very selfishly, and I knew there needed to be a change, but the pull I was feeling is not the kind of change I wanted. I wanted my life to get better my way, and I kept feeling that pull, though in the direction I didn't want. I even called Tommy up one day and said, I don't know what you're doing, but you need to stop. I don't love you anymore, and I don't want this marriage. It was all the prayers he and the church were doing that I was literally feeling and fighting.
The separation hit me like a ton of bricks. And as Denise said, I reconciled my life with Christ relatively quick after the separation and thought, okay, I'm ready to go, get back at it. I can now see that if God had put us back together that fast, well, we would have never made it. God spent 11 months alone with me, molding me, teaching me. What did He teach me? First of all, that He is to be number one in my life. In front of my wife, in front of my children, in front of my job. Not one time has that ever created a problem in my home. Secondly, He showed me that the relationship He has with His children, that He gave His life for them, that He never leaves them, even in the valley, that He loves them unconditionally. Then He told me, Tommy, this is the way you treat your wife. Her needs before yours. Her wants before yours. Her deal before yours. Jesus didn't come to this earth to be served, but to serve. That is my position with my wife. And that is why, even now, still, she is new to me.
I guess you could say I finally gave in after my grandmother died. That was a really hard time for me, and went to Florida for a week for the funeral. And despite the fact that I was surrounded by family, I was feeling very alone. For the first time in a very long time, I wanted my husband. He came down immediately to be with me. On the very long and quiet car ride home, the Lord continued working on me, and at some point during the drive, I turned my head toward Tommy and I said very quietly, I want my family back. We both knew that there was a lot that needed to change and a lot that needed to be discussed, and we knew that there was a very long road ahead of us, and if this was going to work. I quit drinking and gave up the fight that I was feeling, and gave and devoted my life to Christ. Learning more and more about who the Lord really is has taught me what kind of wife and mother I needed to be. There's no way I could have done this without the Lord, and it never would have worked. It still takes work, but when you do it for the Lord instead of for yourself, it's amazing how it all works out, and it's not such a long road after all.
The trust is returned, the selfishness is gone, and our hope in Jesus Christ walked us through the whole valley. And is it worth it?
Definitely.
Oh, it's worth it.